Hey, everybody. It's me, Cassandra Kuzno, your girl, the Sportsnista, one half of the Wednesday afternoon Levels podcast show. The other half, my brother in time, Jeremy Long, is out in the streets getting some bunions taken care of or something. I don't know, but he's on assignment, we'll say. But I got somebody that you definitely want to hear from today. We have UFC middleweight Kevin Holland. And if you follow Kevin Holland at all, you know that Kevin is never at a loss for words. He is Mr. Trailblazer for a reason. And so I'm going to stop talking and go ahead and bring the man in for you. Hey, Kevin.
How you doing?
Now, where are you?
I'm actually in the car. I was headed back from the gym. So, got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
You're staying ready. You get a call yet?
We got a few calls. For some reason, some things didn't work out. So I just stay ready just in case, somebody pulls something and they can't show up to the show. It's been a lot of that this year.
Hey, you never know. You are 19-5 for a reason, because you definitely stay ready. The last time we saw you was against my man Stewart, but you thought you were fighting a different Darren, didn't you?
I mean, nah, not really. It was all cat for the media. Yeah, I was just
You're
playing
just
the game.
playing with the media?
Yeah, I was just playing the game. I knew who I was fighting, but the ideal of it sounded really good, so we ran with it. But, Darren was a tough fight, so hats off to him.
It was definitely a tough fight, and so tough that you told Dana White that you were willing to run that back. You still feel the same way?
Oh yeah, of course, always turn down no fights. I love them all.
Are you willing to go to Fight Island? I hear from some fighters that it's not something that they is on the top of their list right now because of the time difference and having to fight at 3 a.m. and things like that.
Back in the day, you used to always fight 3 a.m. when you was leaving the club, so it's all right. You know what I mean? We're down for whatever. No, I mean it's not something that I'm actually like dying for. When they first announced it, I was dying for it. I guess I was one of those idiots that thought you were gonna fight on the beach. So I was like, oh, it'd be like some Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon stuff. But nah, I mean, essentially it's just a different Apex. So I'd much rather be at the Apex, keep it local in a sense. And, I like Vegas. I mean, it's not my favorite place in the world, but it's starting to become my favorite place in the world.
Now, you grew up in Oxnard, California, or Riverside?
My grandpa grew up in Oxnard, California. I grew up in Ontario, Rancho Cucamonga, so just SoCal,
Okay, but now you're training out of Texas?
Yes, train out of Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Team Looter,
So
CD Power Train.
Cali life like as compared to Texas?
You know what? It is definitely different, but I love the Texas life. I like it a little slower, a little smoother. You know what I mean? California gets a little wild, gets a little crazy. It's fun from time to time, but Texas has definitely been good to me and the family. So, home is where the heart is. The heart is here.
This is true. Now, you made your debut with UFC in 2018 on the Contender Series. You almost didn't make it to the first fight against Santos. What did you think about when Dana White kept calling you the Big Mouth? Was that part of the game plan just to stand out? Or did you think you maybe sit out a little bit too much on the wrong leg for him? How'd you smooth that over?
It didn't bother me at all. You get a nickname, you run with it. They gave me Big Mouth. I do talk a lot. It's like I talk a lot. My kid talks a lot. And it's like it's in the family. We all talk a lot. You never stop talking. So it worked out. Growing up, my grandfather used to call me Jabba Jaws. So it was kind of like, it was just same term, different word. I was cool with it. So I probably did talk a little too much on the Contender Series, but anybody who knows me, they knows that's just me. I talk, whether the fight's a dull moment, a super high flashy moment. I'm just a speaker. I like to speak.
That's how it was going to be. You had some experience in Apex due to fighting in the Contender Series. How was it for you fighting actually like on a live card in Apex with no fans?
Essentially the same. There's media there. There's still some people there. So you're kind of, in a way, those are still fans, and those are fans that I guess are really important and really matter because they're
We're
writing
supposed to be
articles.
fans. We made you.
paying checks. I mean, you guys love what we do. If you didn't love what we do, you'd cover a different aspect. You know,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
well, that's true.
You know,
That's true. I ain't
so
here because I hate it.
yeah. So at the end of the day, like I think it all comes co-hand. Like somebody's watching the fight or nobody's watching the fight. It really doesn't make a difference. It's like I'm gonna fight hard in the gym. I'm gonna fight hard in the cage. And it's like the Apex. It was a little different than the Contender Series. When I fought the Contender Series, it was actually across the street. It wasn't in the Apex, or it was somewhere else. It wasn't in the Apex. So
Oh, they weren't. The
Apex,
Apex wasn't built yet.
yeah, Apex wasn't built yet. I guess you could say I'm old school in the Contender Series. I ain't like the new boys.
You're the OG.
Yeah.
Did you think that you earned the contract that night, even though they passed you over?
Nah, I didn't feel like I earned the contract. I mean, watching the Contender Series these days, I mean, a lot of people get the contract off of decisions and stuff like that. But at that moment in time, it was like kill or be killed to get a contract. And I wasn't really going in there killer to be killed. I was going in there to get my check. I had some bills to pay. I had some chains I was trying to buy. I had a pinky ring I wanted to get, and
Did you get that
so
ring?
on and so forth. So yeah, I went and did
you
that.
Pinky ring?
Yeah, I got a pinky ring. I had like 2.
You don't wear it when you train, though, right?
I usually wear it to the gym, but I left all the jewelry at home today because I was going to teach a class, and I didn't want to be, flossing and bossing while teaching.
Yeah, we don't want no problems.
Yeah, it's, different mentality.
What's the gym like these days? I just saw that Renan Gracie wasn't able to join Brian Ortega because he tested positive, and it seems like the positive tests are coming out of the gyms before you actually get to UFC. What are you doing to kind of prevent that and to lock things down a little bit? And do you have a small crew that's allowed in, or people have to test to come in?
No, we keep it pretty. We're in Texas, we're already allowed to have fans back, so we keep it pretty basic. As far as it goes, at first we were keeping it real tight and keeping it real close. It really wasn't doing a whole bunch of sparring, was keeping it really, really tight. But now it's kind of like, it's like chicken pox. If you caught it, you're kind of in the clear. We don't know how it goes. We don't know how it works. One monkey can't stop no show. So it's like, I'm no scientist. Nobody in the gym's really a scientist. There's a few nurses in there, but I mean, we're all crazy at the end of the day. So, if we're going to get taken out, I'd rather get taken out in the gym. So let's just keep it going.
Keep it going. Does the promotion give you any specific guidelines? Because really, like, yes, it is your right to choose who you're around for the most part. But then you also impact the cards and you.
2 weeks out from the fight, me personally, I tend to not go to the gym anymore. I tend to only do things at the house, whether that means having the coach come to the house, and my coach gets COVID tested a couple weeks before the fight, and he tends to stay pretty safe. People look at him like he's crazy because all of a sudden he starts wearing a mask. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all about getting the bread. So you got to go get the bag. So you got to protect yourself, right? So 2 weeks before the fight, yeah, we get a little technical about it. We get real COVID safe. We have a COVID cleaning business, so we tend to stay pretty COVID clean,
Right. You have a couple of side hustles, though, right? It's not just a COVID cleaning business. You have another business as well?
We got a few things we're working on. We have a bunch of things we're working on. Getting things going for sure. Got to invest the money somehow, or buy a bunch of shoes, one or the other, or more pinky rings. So, it's best to invest.
Where's that?
It's more money than I've ever had before. So what else am I gonna do with it?
Well, where's that entrepreneurial mindset come from?
It comes from my grandparents, 100%. Me and my grandpa are bumping heads right now, but it comes from him. He's real creative, and my grandma, she's really like she's a realist. She stays very realistic. So I got both of those roads tied in. My dad's side of the family, they own businesses, so I want to be like everybody in the family, just a little better.
I bet you they're proud of you. Who's the most proud?
Probably this guy back here, my little brother.
All right. What's your little brother? What's your name, man?
What's your name?
Makai.
How old are you, Makai?
13.
What's the one thing that you're most proud of with your big brother?
That he made to the UFC.
That he made it to
After
UFC.
all these years.
Can he tell me something people be surprised to know about your brother?
He's a caring person.
Oh, stop it. We're putting him off the mic. He's giving too much information.
See? Well, that's what family do. Family's either going to embarrass you or they're going to make sure that people know how important you are. So You know, your brother didn't embarrass you.
Nah, he's just telling the truth.
That is
Only on the weekdays though. On the weekends, that's when we fight, so we turn into a savage.
well, you got a job to do.
Yes, yes.
You definitely
Yes.
got a job to do. Now, I saw on your Twitter feed you congratulate Joaquin Buckley. What do you think about
That was my
that?
manager. That was my manager. My manager threw a little slug out there. I wouldn't have said it like that. I would have said, me personally, I would have said I'm proud of Mijo. He's came so far in such little time. That was what I was gonna put on there. I'm so proud of Mijo.
Are you glad that you didn't get caught with one of them kids?
He would never. He would never. He would never.
You would have seen it coming.
He would never. Yeah, he's no offense to anybody, but he's too slow to catch me with that.
It
Too
seemed
slow,
like
too
it
short.
wasn't because I've watched it probably like 15, 20 times, just like everybody else. Like, what? But it seemed like when he came back, it was almost like slow motion. You could have is that something that you can predict in training?
When you train with the guys, look, I don't say it a lot, you know what I mean? Because I'm bumping heads with everybody, but my Phalanx brothers, we're striking phenoms, you know what I mean? It's like little Kev throws stuff like that. I mean, it's like, I'm a black belt in Kung Fu. I come from a traditional background. Derwin Lamb comes from a traditional background. You know what I mean? Like his guys, we throw crazy stuff, it's like, you would never, you would never. And then if you did, I guarantee you, I've ate shots from Thiago Santos. I've ate shots from John Phillips. I don't go to sleep like that, and it's like, if you did catch me with that, I'm pretty sure a couple minutes later, I'd catch you with either the same thing or something better. I'm just built different.
Let's talk about that Santos fight. So you didn't get the contract in Contender. Was it August? Then you fought Santos in 227. It's crazy card. I mean, you had Dillashaw on the card and Garbrandt, and I think Cejudo and Mighty Mouse was on that card too.
Yeah.
And then your name gets added last minute on
Yeah.
that fight. And it sounded like from what Dana was saying, like they went through a list of a whole bunch of people. And a lot of people said no, and they said, let's call Big Mouth and see if he'll take the fight. Were you ready for that fight, or did you have to do a little bit to get yourself ready?
I mean, I wasn't in shape, but I didn't really do a lot of strength and conditioning back then, so I never was really ever in the shape that I am in these days. So it's like, I was in the gym, though. I was doing jiu-jitsu when they made the phone call. I mean, I was like, they called, and I was like, what did I do? I thought I was in trouble or something, but got to fight Thiago, fun fight. I thought he was a bum. Then I got in there and he wasn't a bum that night. So
you thought he
hasn't
was
been
a bum
since. So,
well,
that's
that first round was tough for you, though. I mean, I guess you can call it an adjustment round, but you won the second round, I believe, on all three cards. But
you know what? And I don't even know how I won the second round. It's like, I don't really care for decision wins. I mean, there's a decision wins when you're skunking the guy the whole time, and I guess that's cool. But unless you finish the guy, unless the referee's pulling you off, unless you had a chance to kill the guy, it's nothing. It's a sparring session. It's like, so if they gave me a second round, it's probably that little Kimura trap that I do, the little reversal. It probably makes everything go woo and wah, but. Nah.
What'd you say to him? Because you're always talking to somebody. You're always talking. What did you say to Santos?
I said something about Santa Claus, and then the man started going crazy. So I think he was on the naughty list that year. Wild man. You know what I mean? Wild man. But every once in a while, I deserve a whooping. So he probably put himself back on the good list with that one. So
he does have that grown man strength thing going on. He definitely does. What's the craziest thing somebody has said to you during a fight?
Brandon Allen. You know what? Brandon Allen during the fight, I hit him with the elbow and I cut him open. And he asked me, he said, is that it? And I was like, woo. I was like, you a wild one, ain't you? You got cornrows. You asked me, is that it? You a wild one. And then somewhere down the line, he choked me out. So, I like the guy, but, of course, one day, we could put this little I don't know if it's a friendship or what we call it. We could put it to the side and grind it out again and then get back to being buddies, because kind of like the guy.
Everybody's get punched in the face.
He's a real one. I like Brandon Allen. He's a real one. Me and him was on the same page that week with the Chimaev guy. You know what I mean? Chimaev wanted to run around punking people, but he only wanted to punk people when he had his team with him and when they were by themselves. So it's like, he's I like Brandon Allen. He's a real guy. He catches on to things.
Do you think that Chimaev interaction, the two that you had, is that a real thing? Or is he playing a role? Or
I mean, I hear he's ready to go. You know what I mean? He's ready to fight. I'm ready to fight. I guess he wants to go down to 70, so let him go down to 70. If it was a real thing, you know what I mean? We'd be fighting right now, right? It's like they offered me the Marvin Vettori fight, right? My knees were busted up. So it's like I had to go get my knees looked at just to make sure that I was even able to bounce back within a couple weeks. As soon as they said my knees were cleared, I was like, yo, I'll take the fight. What's up? Let's take it. I was trying to secure the fight even with the knees messed up. Manager was running around it. And it's like, it's like when I don't like somebody, I don't like them. I want to fight them. And it's like, you don't like me, you don't like me. You want to fight me. So if you want to fight me, fight me. If you don't want to fight me, shut up, walk away. Quit playing like you really want to fight. You know what I mean? Because last apartments I was staying at, we catch it right there on the doorstep. That's just how it goes down.
there's kind of two schools of thought when it comes to mixed martial arts. Either it's a gentleman's thing and you have respect for your opponent, or you go, I think, the Israel Adesanya route and you say, we're going to fight anyway. So why do I bother being nice to you? Where do you fall in that?
I respect every man as long as they respect me. They get out of line, I get out of line. You know what I mean? So I feel it 100%. But at the end of the day, there's boundaries to everything. You know what I mean? I'm not going to talk about this man's kid. I'm not going to talk about this man's mama. I'm not going to talk about this man's daddy. It's not the type of man I am. I know how to talk. I know how to talk good mess without going there. So it's like that's just the way it goes. It's like these guys, they gotta learn some respect at the end of the day. It's okay to go crazy and to do your thing, but you gotta be respectful. If you can't be respectful, everybody always thinks it's all about MMA. What happens when it's not about MMA no more? Where's your respect go?
So did you have a problem then with Colby Covington comments leading up to his fight with Tyron Woodley and even after?
No, never directs anything towards me. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's another thing I don't do. I don't really play the race game. I don't. I was raised by a woman that wasn't the same color as me. I don't play that game at all. I let everybody else play that game. You direct that energy towards me, and, we'll get different results. But he ain't never directed. I seen him. I made a comment. He kept looking straight.
You made a comment. What did you say?
I just thought it was funny that you run around. You're supposed to be one of the baddest dudes, and you got all the security with you. I would never.
So you saw him and you said something.
I mean, I didn't say anything to him. I was really thinking it in my head. It just came out loud. Like, I was like, you're a freaking cat if you got that much security with you. And, it just kind of came out, and they kind of explained to me why he has that much security with him. I didn't mean for it to come out. It's just sometimes when you're thinking something, you say it, So, I don't want no problems with nobody. I just take the problems that come my way.
Well, you obviously are looking for a problem because you're looking for a fight soon. You are back in the gym. You're training.
Yeah.
On your list, you want to go down to 170?
If I go down to 70, it's not going to be for a guy who also fights at 85. You know what I mean? It's like that makes no sense. We might as well, if we're gonna die, we might as well die fat and fed. You know what I'm saying? Why die skinny and hungry? That's stupid. Because anybody can die at any point in time in that thing. Especially if we don't like each other, bad things can happen. But if I gotta cut some weight, I'm cutting weight for a name. If I gotta cut real weight, I'm cutting real weight for a name. To me,
what would you cut for?
It's like Mike Perry. We play little games online. That's a name. It's somebody I don't like at 70 that I'm willing to cut weight for. It's like I'm past Mickey Gall now, so
Who would you cut weight for?
Huh?
Who would you cut weight for to go to 70?
Perry. I'd cut weight for Perry. I'd go to 75 for Perry. A month ago, 2 months ago, I would have went to 70 for Perry. Now I'll go to 75 for Perry. He ain't that special.
Gotcha.
I mean, if the fight makes sense, I will drop. It's like I'd go to 70 for a Carlos Condit fight. You know why? Because I look up to that guy. I look up to the way he fights. I've always wanted to fight some of those legend guys. And I just feel like at 85, everybody's just becoming a legend. Other than that, they're all out the door. It's like unless you catch Uriah Hall or unless you catch Anderson Silva, it's like what what legends are left at 85 in the UFC?
Yeah, you were on the same card as Donald Cerrone, and there was a lot of talk after that
I don't want to
fight.
fight Cerrone.
That's
I want to
that.
be like Cerrone. I don't want to fight Cerrone. You know what I mean? Not this Cerrone. It's like, this Cerrone, is he still good? Could he still beat people? Heck yeah, it's Donald freaking Cerrone. But Donald Cerrone, even 6-7 months ago, was a bad dude. You know what I mean? Maybe a year ago. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, I like Donald Cerrone a lot, but at the end of the day, it's like, at some point in time, we all gotta hang it up.
Do you feel like you want to be one of those guys that goes out on his shield, or do you want to have an exit plan?
I got an exit plan. I ain't going out on
Or
no shield.
what that is?
That's all that. The warrior in me wants to go out on the shield. You know what? If you want to go out on the shield, be the warrior in you. Maybe you're in a bank one day and it's getting robbed, and you stop the robbery and you get shot in the process. That's a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Going out on your shield, messing your record up, and getting knocked out a bunch of times, or losing to a bunch of people that you'd have never lost to in your prime. Why would you do that? It's different when you're young, dumb, and you make a mistake. But when you're old, you have to be old enough and wise enough to know how to walk away. Props to Daniel Cormier. You know what I mean? Saying, nah, can I still compete with these guys? Yeah. Can I do what I used to be able to do to these guys? No. It's time to walk away.
Yeah, well, it sounds like that you have a good foundation. Your family has taught you the value of being your own man in terms of being an entrepreneur and having multiple lines of business. So
Thank you.
sounds like that you hit on right. Before I let you go, just wanted to thank you for your time. And I
Thank
know
you.
at the end of this training day, sometimes you've got other things on your mind that you want to get
I
accomplished. But
just want to take a shower and play Call of Duty.
like Call of Duty. So what other video games are you good at?
I'm only playing Call of Duty right now. My little brother's playing UFC. What's that, 4? He's playing UFC 4. I feel like he's a traitor because I'm not in the video game. So hopefully I heard him getting the update. But it is what it is.
What athletes does he choose?
Who do you choose?
Daniel
He uses DC at heavyweight. Who do you use at middleweight? He uses Avatar the Airbender at freaking 85. Who else do you use? That's it. He only stays at the upper weight classes.
Yeah. All right, I can see. I mean,
And then if he uses the women weight classes, he's using no, he's using Andrea. Man, I've been training. I'm horrible.
If you could be another athlete in that
Angie
game,
Kill, Overkill.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
he has to use Overkill. Matter of fact, we're gonna go home and play the game. I'm about to use Overkill and beat him up, whatever girl he uses. That's how we're getting
There
down.
you go. Well, hey, listen. If I have to pick anybody, Angie would definitely be on my list.
Yeah.
If you everybody talks about how athletic you are. Would you have played a different sport if I think was in your late teens you took up MMA?
Yeah, I took on Kung Fu at 16, and then I didn't really take on MMA until I was like 18. But yeah, I played basketball 1 year. I did practices at all my friends. They like played every sport. I did all their practices. It's just every sport was so boring. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then in football, it's like I liked the idea of offense, but I didn't like the idea of somebody tackling me and me not being able to hit them back. So I was like,
If they tackled you, it felt like it should be a fight.
Yeah, you're not gonna just tackle me. You tackle me, then they slap your helmet and they do all that crazy stuff. I'm not with all that. You slap my helmet, I'm taking my helmet off and I'm cracking you with it. It's like it's not gonna happen.
Do you watch any sports? Did you watch the NBA in the bubble or the NFL?
Yeah, I watched a little basketball. You know what I mean? Lakers forever, always bleed purple and gold. But
okay. Are you a Bron guy or a Lakers fan?
Lakers fan. LeBron's lucky to be a Laker.
So you were a Kobe guy.
Yeah, I was definitely a Kobe guy. Mamba mentality forever. LeBron, that's the reason why LeBron's a better man. You know what I mean? Everybody's a better person because of Kobe. Don't ever forget this.
Perhaps I ain't gonna argue that. Not gonna argue that at all. So when do you think we're gonna see you in the cage again?
November, December, whatever. Tell him, call
year?
me. I'm ready. Let's go. I don't like sitting at home. I feel like I'm warming up the bench for everybody else.
Are you watching any of the fights happening in Abu Dhabi right now?
If they're 185 or if they're a buck 70, if there's somebody I potentially feel like I could fight one day, I'm watching. Other
Who do
than
you
that,
got then in the Khabib fight?
oh, I'm gonna watch the Khabib fight. Come on now,
You're gonna watch that one.
I'm definitely watching the Khabib fight.
Who do you think has the
It's
edge?
anytime somebody's undefeated, it's history every time they fight because you never know what could happen, right? Especially with 4 ounce gloves on. So you have to tune in. Whether you like the person, whether you love the person, whether you hate the person, it doesn't matter. You better tune in. It's history on the line. And I like Gaethje a lot, but you know, Khabib, I've learned to really start to like how he stands for his people and what he does as far as fighting. It's like it's not really my style of fighting, but however you got to impose your will, right?
Yeah, we know Khabib's strength. What do you think Justin has to do?
Touch him. He has to touch him. He has to stop a few takedowns and he has to touch him. That's if you're standing across from Khabib, you're gonna you're gonna have to stuff a few takedowns and you're gonna have to touch him. If you don't do that, you're gonna lose. The guy wrestles bears. What do you do against that?
Hey, I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to wrestle no bear. Not even a teddy bear I don't want to wrestle. Ain't really in my ministry. Hey, we've been talking to UFC middleweight Kevin Holland and his little brother. Um, they need to go on and get to a match in Mortal Kombat, or at least go ahead and have a turkey burger. I think.
Yeah, we're gonna go play the UFC game.
Play the UFC game. Good luck to you the rest of the year, Kevin. I hope to see you sooner rather than later.
Thank you very much. Mick Maynard, book me, Bucko, book me.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Listen, I just got one thing to say about Kevin Holland is that the future is super bright for this guy. I believe he's 6'3", 6'4", comes in at 185 pounds, so his walking around weight is probably a little higher than that. Ridiculously athletic, ridiculously motivated and skilled. So looking forward to seeing what he can do in the middleweight division. I got a different setup today, y'all. So my lighting is really kind of like jacked up. I don't like it. What y'all think? I don't know. Let me see what y'all saying in the comments. So, Robert, what's going on here? Hey there, Ralph. I'm gonna see you on Friday. Daniel Benzie, what you doing up, dude? It's like I don't know what time it is, but you in the UK and everywhere. Not in everywhere, but I believe you are someplace close to London, so that's got to be 6 hours ahead. No, maybe eight. I don't know. It's the wee hours of the morning. I'm trying to do my math. Someplace like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You either just got in or you need to take your butt to sleep. Anyways, listen. We were gonna. Jeremy Long's gonna be back here with us. Now, only two. It's 2 a.m. Like man. But yeah, that's true. In the past 7 days, I probably got an average of maybe 10 hours of sleep. So I understand. Team no sleep is for suckers. So I'm gonna give me some sleep tonight. I'm gonna give me some help and give me some sleep. That's all I'm saying. About that. But next week we'll be back with Jeremy. But Friday's going to be a really fun show. Ralph Velez is going to be back. We're going to be talking about Teofimo Lopez versus Vasily Lomachenko. For all the belts, there's 4 belts on the line. We got the young buck in Teofimo, who is looking to make his case against the man who is definitely high tech, Vasily Lomachenko. I think Loma's got a lot of experience that Teo might not be anticipating, although I will say this. Teofimo is probably the strongest puncher that Vasily's ever faced. And so if he touches him, it could be a problem. But anyways, man, I'm looking for that to be a war. Of course, you got the daddies that don't like each other. So we're going to be talking about that on Friday. Also, we'll have a guest on. I'm confirming today from Scoop B from heavy.com. We're going to talk a little bit of basketball bubble and what's next for the NBA. And of course, we will be teeing up T-City versus the Korean Zombie coming up from Fight Island. Man, that fight, I feel like it's been 3 years in the making. It's been forever since Brian Ortega slapped the man's hype man, the rapper, Korean Zombie's friend. I can't remember the friend's name, but he slapped him during the UFC event, some wild stuff. So them two we're gonna see. But as always, y'all stay out of trouble, you knuckleheads. I'm gonna see you in a couple of days. Check out previous shows on Level Show on Facebook. You can catch us on Instagram as well as Twitter. For my partner in time, who ain't here, Jeremy Long, and my Friday partner, Ralph Velez. Peace, y'all. It's been fun.